watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law, voted Best of Las Vegas. Give them a call, 702-727-9900. News 25 is also brought to you by Desert View Hospital. You can count on us.
Thank you for joining us here on News 25 and Ace Country Radio. I'm David Preston.
And I'm Roy Rosell on this Friday, July 14th.
There is upcoming construction that may cause delays for drivers. Roy Rosell has this story.
We are here at the intersection of Highway 160 and Basin Avenue. As you can see behind me, Dahlia Street is already under construction, like we've said in a past video. Though the project that started in February of this year that extends from Highway 160 down Basin to Blagg Avenue right next to Circle K is going to be under construction until September of this year. I'm Roy Rosell reporting for News 25.
The project that was only supposed to be a 4-month-long project is now extended a few more months. Even with 2 paving contracts being awarded earlier this month, the county is anticipating that the Basin Avenue rebuild will not be complete until sometime in September. Nye County roughly has 1,200 linear feet of Phase 2 Basin Main Line to excavate and backfill, and they will finish that after the Dahlia intersection is complete. They are planning to have all of this work done by the end of August. Las Vegas Paving was awarded the contracts for both Phase 2 and Phase 3 of the paving. The original estimate of completion was closer to the month of May, but delays popped up and the county received no bids on the first paving contract. The county was eventually able to secure Las Vegas Paving Corp. for the Basin and Blagg intersection paving, but delay resulted in overall completion date being pushed back. The Basin Phase 2 mainline contract comes out to $607,000, while the Basin Phase 3 Dahlia intersection will run the county about $289,000. Well, 5 burros were shot dead in Death Valley on July 13th. Currently, the Death Valley National Park Association is investigating this matter. RJ Camacho reports.
On July 13th, the National Park Service officials have begun investigating the death of 5 burros that have been discovered to be shot and killed earlier this week. This incident occurred in the lower Wild Rose area of Death Valley National Park. Burros aren't native to the California desert. Due to that fact, managers of the public land have been conducting work to remove the animals from the desert environment by working with partners. It's been stated by officials that the death of the 5 burros were not a result of internal removal efforts. Officials with the Death Valley National Park would like to remind the public that it is illegal to discharge a firearm in a national park, which poses a threat to public safety. The corpses of the 5 burros, which were abandoned, also pose a threat to the native wildlife who may inadvertently ingest toxic lead when feeding on the burro's remains. While burros leave a negative impact on the natural and cultural desert environment, largely in part due to them trampling, overgrazing, or fouling the water of sensitive desert springs, park officials say these irresponsible actions are not warranted. While investigations are underway, officials with the Death Valley National Park are asking for any information park visitors may have regarding this case. If you have information, you may do so by calling or texting the National Park Service tip line at 888-653-0009. That's 888-653-0009. Or you can submit online at go.nps.gov/submit a tip, or alternatively email them at nps_isb@nps.gov.
In our continuing coverage of the Nye County Sheriff's Office requiring more funding, Sheriff Joe McGill talks more in depth about the budgeting system and the need to increase his officers' equal pay compared to other agencies, and to provide more officers on the streets responding to service calls and to keep the community safe. News 25 reported on our broadcast on Thursday that Sheriff Joe McGill of the Nye County Sheriff's Office went before the Board of Nye County Commissioners late last month to request additional funding for his officers. Sheriff McGill is asking for equal pay for his officers so he can compete against other law enforcement agencies who are hiring his officers away for more money with sign-on bonuses and relocation costs. As the population growth of Nye County increases, Sheriff McGill says he needs to increase his staff and have the ability to hire more officers with equal pay as to the other agencies. Without the additional funding, Sheriff McGill says he will not be able to handle all the service calls that come in daily with the growing population. Currently, his department is stretched thin with the few officers he currently has, since some of them have already left for better paying jobs.
Currently, our budgeting system is lacking in funding due to the amount of money that is committed to the Nye County Sheriff's Office. The major portion of our budget goes to salary and payroll. We need to increase that amount so that we can increase the deputies' pay and provide more deputies on the street, responding to calls for service, conducting traffic enforcement, conducting drug investigations, all the different aspects of what we have to do on a day-to-day basis. We are shorthanded in our detention center. We have prisoners that are being overseen by too few deputies, and it's coming to the point where we cannot hire enough deputies to fill the empty positions that we have. We do have approximately 30 empty positions right now, and the county commissioners suggested to me in our meeting last week that we do away with those empty positions, take that salary that is dedicated to those positions that are not occupied, and spread that out amongst the deputies that are currently working. That is a partial solution, but that is not the solution. When we do away with those positions, that means that if our pay does increase and we are able to recruit more people into our department, now we don't have positions to fill those empty positions. The fact with government is if you give it up, you never get it back. That's our problem. As our population increases, as our crime increases, we need to increase with that. If we do away with our empty positions, we have no increase available to us. That's why we need an increase in our budget and in our salaries so that we can recruit and retain people in our department and not lose them to other agencies that are paying higher wages, and we can provide you better law enforcement services.
We'll have more news on the other side of this break.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
Welcome back. Well, a woman has been arrested over reports of a domestic where she was recorded allegedly saying, "I hope I kill you."
On July 7th, Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies were dispatched in reference to a domestic in progress. Upon arrival, officers made contact with Kyril Rogers, who stated that she was arguing with the reporting party. According to the declaration of arrest, when she was asked if anything physical had occurred, Rogers stated that "I'm going to say no," and that she allegedly could not recall if she put her hands on the reporting party, but alleged that they put their hands on her. Officers observed a slight red mark on Rogers' left cheek, a small scrape on her left ear, and scrapes on Rogers' knees. Rogers refused to comment any further. Officers then made contact with the reporting party, who stated that Rogers had returned home from drinking at the bar, and after showering, Rogers allegedly went crazy, yelling and threatening to shoot the reporting party. According to the declaration of arrest, Rogers then grabbed and dug her nails into the privates of the reporting party, leaving a laceration. Rogers then allegedly allegedly hit and scratched the reporting party on both sides of their face, leaving several small lacerations. At that time, the reporting party then pushed Rogers away to prevent from being hit further and began to record via their cell phone. Officers then looked at the cell phone footage, which allegedly showed Rogers striking the reporting party several times and chasing them around the garage while they were asking Rogers to stop. In the video, it is alleged that Rogers can be seen picking up and turning on a small saw. According to the declaration of arrest, during the video, Rogers can be heard saying, "I could make you die right now, and I hope I kill you." Officers observed several injuries on the reporting party consistent with their statements and the cell phone footage. Upon placing Kyle Rogers into custody, she then alleged that the reporting party choked her and slammed her up against a wall, which is why she grabbed their privates. According to the declaration of arrest, Rogers was very intoxicated, and there were no injuries consistent with her statement. Kyle Rogers has been arrested and booked into the Nye County Detention Center under the charge of domestic battery.
The 8th Annual Social Services Fair is coming soon, and News 25 spoke to Corinne Smith about this upcoming event.
On July 21st in Pahrump, we will be holding our 9th Annual Social Service Fair in Pahrump from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Nye Communities Coalition, and on July 27th, we will also be holding our Tonopah Social Service Fair from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. As I stated, we've been doing this for about 9 years now, with lots of resources that are brought to both communities for all of Nye County in order to let them be aware of what resources are offered in this community and outside of the community. We have everything from behavioral health, mental health, to welfare, nonprofit organizations. ARP is coming out, veteran services, all to let everybody know that these resources are available to them and give them an opportunity to meet and talk to different individuals and agencies all in one spot. We also hold a raffle where we raffle off different baskets and or gift cards to the community. We give out raffle tickets as you come through the door. You do not need to be present in order to receive one. This is our social service fair is put on by Nye County Health and Human Services, which includes WIC, Ryan White, Public Guardian, and then all different partnerships throughout Nye County and the surrounding areas of Nevada. Tonopah will be held at the Tonopah Convention Center, which is at 301 Brower Avenue in Tonopah. Pahrump is at Nye Communities Coalition, which is at 1020 East Wilson Avenue. If they have any questions, they can give us a call at our Pahrump office, which is 775-751-7095, or in Tonopah at 775-482-8125. You can also find information regarding the resource fair on our Health and Human Services and WIC Facebook pages, along with being advertised in both the Pahrump and Tonopah newspapers.
The Pahrump Fall Festival Parade entry form is now available. Mikey Ruhan has the details.
The Pahrump Fall Festival Parade entry form is now available for the annual event. This year's theme is Cowboys and Aliens. The parade is scheduled for Saturday, September 23rd at 9 a.m. Entry forms and payments are due by Monday, September 18th at 4:30 p.m. The Kiwanis Club of Pahrump will oversee this year's parade. For more information, visit pahrump.nv.gov.
The WNBA is officially welcome to Las Vegas after the famous Las Vegas sign now shines orange.
The Welcome to Las Vegas sign has turned orange officially, welcoming the league's All-Star weekend. The game is scheduled for Saturday, July 15th at the Michelob Ultra Arena. This is the third time that the WNBA is visiting Las Vegas for this game. The Aces All-Star and MVP Asia Wilson will be the team captain for this year's game.
Well, Avello Airlines announced a new direct flight from Harry Reid International Airport to Salem, Oregon.
Avello Airlines announced today exclusive non-stop service from the greater Salem-Portland region to Las Vegas. Avello is the first commercial airline serving Salem Municipal Airport in nearly 15 years and is the only airline offering non-stop flights from SLE to the entertainment capital of the world. Flights will operate weekly on Thursdays and Sundays, starting on October 5th on a Boeing Next Gen 737. Introductory one-way fares start at $39 plus taxes and fees.
We'll be back right on the other side of this break with your sports report.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500.
Welcome back. Here's a look at your sports report with Mikey Ruhan.
Time now for your News 25 look at sports. Las Vegas Aviators return home from their All-Star break tonight. They welcome their in-state rival, the Reno Aces, at 7:05 from Las Vegas Ballpark. Las Vegas Aces won in L.A. on Wednesday, beating the Sparks 97-78. The WNBA All-Star game is tomorrow from Michelob Ultra Arena at 5:30 p.m. Vegas Golden Knights are spending their day with the Cup. There's Jack Eichel and a cute little baby. Head coach Bruce Cassidy took the Cup to the beach. Hopefully Stanley wore some sunscreen. And the president of hockey operations, George McPhee, took it to Martha's Vineyard. Mexico and Jamaica played in the 2023 CONCACAF Gold Cup semifinal at Allegiant Stadium on Wednesday. Mexico with the shutout. They head to SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. And that's your look at sports on News 25.
Well, now we're going right back to Mikey with what's coming up on Classic Country Breakfast this Sunday morning.
Howdy. On the menu this week on Classic Country Breakfast, born on July 15th, 1946, we celebrate Linda Ronstadt's birthday. Born on July 11th, 1944, Bobby G. Rice. He calls the show to celebrate his birthday with us and to talk about his success on the chart.
These songs I've done like 7, I think, in a row that were chart songs for me. And then we wrote "You Lay So Easy on My Mind," and that was our first original song to be released out there, and that ended up being my biggest release.
And legendary outlaw country singer-songwriter Billy Don Burns has a new single out called "Neon Circus." He called the show to talk about that, meeting Merle Haggard, and he talks about how he reluctantly knocked Johnny Cash out of the top spot on the charts.
Johnny had been number 1 for 16 weeks, and record company called me and said, "We're knocking Cash out next week." And I said, "I don't want to knock Cash out next week." And they said, "Well, we're going to." And I said, "I'll stop the record." So I get on the phone calling disc jockeys, telling them to get off my record. To me, it's like blasphemy to knock Johnny Cash out of there.
Don't forget to check out ClassicCountryBreakfast.com and tune in Sunday morning to Classic Country Breakfast at 8 a.m. on Ace Country Radio.
News 25 Weather Cam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
Well, if you like hot summer days, you're in luck. There will be excessive heat warning over the weekend into next week. John has your weather forecast coming up next.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hi, good evening, Nevada. It's John Kohler from the KPVM Channel 25 Weather Studios, all up and down the Ace Country Radio Network and worldwide on that local BTV app, the app that will complete you and make you one with the universe. Won't that be nice? 98 degrees out there in Fernley and Carson City, making a little weather sandwich with a Fallon in the middle at 99. Tonopah hit 95 today. That's the cool spot. 95 degrees. Oh, how refreshing. 97 out there in Goldfield. Beatty's all the way up to 109. It's 113 in Amargosa, making you the precocious hotspot winner. And Las Vegas at 110. pretty dang toasty out there. In Death Valley, it's 122. I don't. Yeah, it's hard to think about. Here in the Paradise of Pahrump, let's take a look. 100 degrees is our current temperature. 110, we tied with Vegas today. Congratulations. Usually it's a little colder up here in the hills, but not the case today. Sun rose this morning at 5:37. That was a good start to a day. Setting this evening at about 8:01. Look for it just after 8 bells. It'll be like ring-a-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding. Sunset. Low tonight, 78 degrees. And winds out of the east to 7 miles per hour, treating us pretty kindly this evening as we look at clear skies and good star watching as we head on into the weekend. Oh man, it's a beast. In fact, for the whole next week, the warning bells on excessive heat is going off the National Weather Service. Look at this, not a day in sight that's under 105. I guess we'll get some blessed relief at a paltry 107 next Friday, but sunshine, winds up about 15 miles per hour throughout the week. Lows at night in the low and mid 80s. It's definitely some significant heat, and be careful out there. Back to the desk. Here's David and Rory.
Thank you, John. Well, that wraps up this edition of News 25. I'm David Preston.
And I'm Rory Rosa. We'll see you next newscast.
Have a great weekend.
Good night.